Sure. Affinity Xtra, be extra.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? Welcome to 7 Sharp. It is me, your host, Blue, and you may notice there's a little bit of a difference in the studio today. It's usually me and Rose, but today we fired her. That's right, we sacked her. Get lost. We're in recession and we're holding back some income. No, I'm joking. She couldn't make it today. I'm not going to tell you the reasons why, but if you stay until the end of the show, I will say why she can't be here today. And then you can comment on there whether or not she should have been here or not. But instead, I've replaced that with two lovely ladies. That is right. And they go by the name of...
Jamila.
Okay, Jamila, how are we doing?
I'm good, thank you. I hope I'm not your cheap option.
We'll come back to that one. And we have another lovely lady here on Zoom with us. She goes by the name of...
Tracy, nice to meet you.
How we do? Now, Tracy should have been here, but she missed the bus, so she had to do this show via Zoom. Now, I'm joking. Tracy is it East Midlands, is it classed as, or is it even not Midlands at all? She's out the area. It's East Midlands. Boom, you see?
The old city of Nottingham.
Yeah.
See, and I failed in geography, so that goes to my teacher, that it was racism why I got a D. But anyway, so today, guys, we've got an amazing show, as always, packed with so much. So we're going to go right into it now. Jamila and Tracy, you guys are part of a network. I was going to say a very special network, but it's not. Well, it is a special network, but I don't want to
say special.
I didn't want to, you know, when sometimes when someone says special, they're like, oh, well, to what degree?
Mm-hmm.
So it's special and important. So for those of you who are single, okay, and that is men and women, okay, I know we've got represented by two ladies here, but it is for both, isn't it? That's right?
Absolutely.
Okay, then. So tell us a bit, Tracy, about your singles network.
Yeah, so GSC, acronym for Godly Singles Connect, is a singles network that originally established in London. So there's a lady called Nadia whose vision kind of sparked where we are today. And so we've only recently this year started in May. So we've just been launching events. But the wider offer for the network is mentoring, Bible studies, discussions, and regular meetups. So that's where myself and Jamila has kind of done some things for the singles community in Nottingham and Birmingham, offering just fun events just to connect people, build social skills, and just to have some great time together.
Okay. And Jamila, what kind of things have you guys done so far? You said it was in May you started.
Yeah, we literally started a few months ago.
Okay.
So the first event was bowling. That was an absolute blast. Lots of fun, food. The last event we had was fun games in the park.
Yeah.
Lots of challenges. And again, food. You know, you got to socialize around the food, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, everyone loves their food. If they don't, then they're crazy.
That's it.
See? Okay. And so bowling's one of the ones that you guys have done?
We did the bowling and we did the games in the park, Sutton Park in Birmingham. And we do have an event coming up in Nottingham.
Okay.
Miniature golf at the Lost City.
Okay,
That's going to be. That's not. It's in the
Lost
City.
Nottingham people might find that city.
It's in the city centre.
Okay.
But it's going to be on the 27th of August.
Okay, so not far.
Not far. Really good all-inclusive price, including pizza.
Oh, and what's the price?
£12.50.
Is that all?
Bargain.
So you get a couple of rounds of golf.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Yeah.
And social.
And we were happy to continue the fun afterwards as well. You know, if you want to go and grab another drink or something like that, just to socialize, we'll do that.
Now, Trace, I'm going to ask you a question because it's represented so far by two ladies. What's the ratio from men to women? Are we going to be intimidated? Would guys be intimidated coming down there and seeing like 15 women and 2 guys and you're like, nah, I'm going home?
No.
Yeah, me and Jamila's worked really, really hard to ensure that there's a healthy ratio because part of our feedback from the guys and the girls as well is that they want a healthy ratio. So it's not purely women showing up. So thankfully, our first event was really, really good because we got quite a good balance and we beat the odds really for what others were projecting us to have. So we had around, I I think it was just a couple of more women to men.
It was.
And our last event, I think we were getting more men than women initially. But again, I think it was 50-50. So because we've got a wider network of singles in London, they really have been supporting the Midlands events. So it's really, really good just to keep the activities varied, so both men and women are interested, and that's our aim, really.
Is there a worry then that if someone meets, so because we get quite a lot of different communities coming, like London, Birmingham, and Nottingham coming together, and you find someone that suits you, like the person, like actually we could probably settle down and make a relationship, and then one day you get married, but one lives in London and one lives in Birmingham, is there that kind of worry for some people that they have to give up where they live to go and live with somebody else, if it gets to that?
Well, I think people have to consider their own unique situation. Some people, they've been looking to move to London from the the jump, and now this is their moment, But I think it's very unique. I think when you find love, that's a unique thing to find as well. So both parties need to consider what's the best option for them.
Very true.
I don't think you should be afraid of making connections with someone outside of your city. I think sometimes we have to open up that pool as well and connect with other people.
Okay. And how did you guys find it intimidating when you first went, or are you the organisers, Tracy? When we get that correct.
So we facilitate the events and have been doing since May. Myself, I've gone to I've facilitated one event, which was like a paint and sip for the singles in London, and then I attended the first ever London meets Birmingham, which was mainly organised from our London founder, and that was like a Valentine's meal earlier on in the year. So that's kind of like where it kind of initially started, but it wasn't us directly organising it. So And
what did you call it? Paint and sip.
Paint and sip. So so your usual. I don't know if anyone's been to a paint and sip before, but it's just the usual kind of paint from an example from an instructor at the front of the class or front of the session, and you just all kind of have a bit of beverage, have some discussion, take a group photo afterwards, and have some good vibes, good music playing, that kind of thing. So
you painted and drinking at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you not been to one?
I've never. You know what it is? I'm going to be honest with you, and maybe some couples out there might. So I've been married for a very long time, and I think married people, this is going to get us in trouble now, but I'm going to go there. I think sometimes married people can get a bit dry, and so a lot of times married couples envy single people. Like a lot of times I've got a lot of single friends, and they talk about things they do, and I think I don't really like you anymore. Like I just don't really want it, because it feels like you have a lot of time. So you have time to do stuff like paint and sip.
Yeah.
Whereas a married couple is like, we need to talk about how we're going to pay for the TV license, the internet bill, and whose turn is it to take the children swimming and football next week. You know what I mean? So the conversation's a bit more like, I want to sit down and watch ITV News because everywhere else seems more interesting than what's going up in here. And then you hear singles like, we're socializing, we're doing this, and you're like, oh, I hate you guys. Just get married so you can feel my pain. That's not my story, though. I just want to put that out there. I'm young and fresh.
You're young and fresh.
I'm young and fresh, but paint and sip, I've never heard of that before, actually. So, when you said paint and sip at first, I thought, what are you sipping? Because I've seen paint blowing.
Well, it depends on the nature of the event. What would we be sipping, Tracy?
Well, she said drink, innit? Like beverages.
If you were having like any kind of drink while you're kind of painting, so it's not like the sipping is part of the artwork in any way. It's literally your little break or your little fun that you're having with others. So that's.
And was that in Birmingham or was that in London? Was that in London or Birmingham where you did paint?
Yeah, that was in London. That was in London.
So Birmingham, guys, we need to fix up down here and do some paint and sip.
No, there is paint and sip in Birmingham. I just think
yes.
The thing is, and it's interesting actually, because we've had married couples express interest in coming to our events, and that is a very telltale sign of the dryness that you were talking about earlier.
See?
So hopefully, like with our events, our singles will kind of continue on investing that quality time.
Yeah.
When they do meet their spouses, that they won't forget some of the fun that they incorporated in their lives, you know, early, you know, in singleness, because, you know, you might transition to being married, but then, you know, you lose that spark, you lose that that freshness that's needed to keep things good and healthy. So it's really good to invest in yourself, invest in each other as well. So I guess we are kind of investing in them, aren't we, Jamila?
Absolutely. We're teaching them not to be boring.
So married couples attend as well?
No.
I was about to say that.
You're hearing things now, Jermaine.
I was about to say, because I wasn't thinking about me coming. I was thinking that could be very dangerous for a lot of married couples.
No.
Because they could be like, oh, okay. He's more my type now. I'm about to do a, you know, usher and get out of here. So, okay, but answer me this question, Jamila. So how did you two meet? Was it through the network or was you guys friends prior?
Absolutely. It was through the network.
Okay.
So I joined last year in lockdown. You know, we were all locked up.
Yes, prison.
And this was a good way to get connected with other people all over the UK, basically, but majority in London. Okay. And that's how we got connected, through the network.
Okay.
So this is why we champion it, because it's a good way to connect with people. It doesn't have to be the opposite sex.
Yeah.
It can also be, you know, just other women or other men. You build a friendship, because some people, their friends are married. Yeah. And now they are getting boring by themselves. Mm-hmm. So now it's good for them to nurture other connections and friendships. Okay.
And now I know you guys said that you do things other than social. You also do weekly meetups and Bible studies.
Yeah, that's organised by Nadia, who is based in Nottingham. She is the originator of Godly Singles Connect. In fact, she's been doing these events since 2014.
Oh, wow.
Many years. She just has that passion to support the singles. So the Bible studies is just one of the offerings for those who aren't connected perhaps to a church, or those who just want to, you know, connect with other single Christians via a healthy Bible study medium. Then the discussion groups are topics of interest that Nadia would organise. And what else do we do? Mentoring. If people need support somewhere along their journey, they can have mentoring support.
And what type of mentoring would that incorporate?
I haven't taken advantage of it myself. Tracy, do you want to?
There was a lady that offered it, but she's now left the group, so I'm not too sure on that particular aspect. Of the mentoring. But it's just basically there was a lady who was married. She became married from the network, so she met her spouse, and then she volunteered as a mentor. So it was like a 6-week mentoring, just ringing in, checking on things, reading through scripture, and just talking through wider issues, past relationships, that kind of thing. So that was quite interesting.
And I was going to ask a question, probably can't answer this one now. So Nadia, who started this in 2014, is she still single now?
I do not know her status as such.
I can go on Instagram now. No, I'm joking. I'm going to do that.
Is it for us to say?
No, and the only reason I'm asking that, because, I mean, putting Nadia to the side then, are some people single by choice then? So they don't fall into that category of getting into relationships and complexities and boringness. And because obviously, like we said, for some people, singleness is fun. So there's more options, and the fear of getting into a relationship for a lot of people is scary. Like, what if we're not the right person? What if, you know, I remember speaking to a friend who delayed getting married. So she was engaged for a while, but delayed getting married because she thought that when they had children, they might come out ugly. Wow. That's a true story. She's got lovely children, but yeah, that was one of her reasons she delayed getting married, because she thought, if we did get married and have children, what if our children don't really
look cute?
Look cute, yeah, but then
everybody's baby's cute.
I don't think everybody's baby's
to them.
Cute. Wow, yeah.
So
my question to you guys then is: are some people sometimes a part of this group to remain single, or some people's objective is to learn about themselves and their community, and hopefully one day find Mr. Right or Mrs. Right or Mrs. Right? Is that right? Mr. Right, Mrs. Right?
Yeah.
Find the right person, sure. You have to say that. I'm going to say it to Tracy, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I think some people have gone through traumatic situations.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's more healing and empowerment in this chapter of their lives. Some people do want to meet Mr. or Mr. Right or Mrs. Right.
Just me.
But, you know, since the pandemic, dating, and even during the pandemic, dating has been different for people. You know, a lot of people are online using online resources, and there probably is a bit more of a harder market to penetrate in terms of who is being genuine online, and is it safe, and people lead very busy lives, so they don't actually go out. They probably have a 9 to 5 and they're in all the time, and it's just they're not meeting people in their local area, and they just don't know how to access, you know, diverse people in their churches. Yeah. So I think there's a range of factors to consider, because I think a lot of people just conclude that, oh, you must be single because of X, Y, and Z. And I think that's the wrong approach to have towards it, because I think some people really are desiring somebody and it's just not happened for them yet for a range or a host of reasons that they can control or they can't control. So I think it's just kind of being mindful of that, because I think it can be quite sensitive to people when they have to think of an answer for a question like that.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
And what impact, Jamil, have you seen for some of those that have joined and enjoying being part of the network?
I think it's the social interaction that I observe. That's the most visible thing that I observe, I find. That sense of community, togetherness. Yeah. And unfortunately, I haven't made it to a London event as yet. But, you know, experiencing new things together is supportive for people. And I must reiterate that, well, I probably should stress rather than reiterate. Nadia set this singles network up to support singles while they are single. It's not for the purpose of getting people to find mates. Yeah. That's almost like a
dating.
It's kind of like a what do they call it?
Speed dating, is it all?
No.
What I'm trying to...
No, I'm trying to say it's almost something that is a byproduct of being in the singles network. It's not set up to hook you up. Yeah. But if you manage to find a connection that grows into something, then that's great. Okay.
Now I hear what you say. I think there's an ignorance there from people who are in a relationship where they think, well, why can't you just go and find... Like nowadays, some people just think it's simple just to go out there and find somebody and be in a relationship. But understandably, it isn't that simple. And I think, I'm guessing from what Tracy said as well, that COVID has kind of played its hand in there, making it more difficult, particularly for social elements then.
Yeah, for the last couple of years, we were locked up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In our own homes.
And this is I want to stress this part as well. So it's not Christian, but does it exclude people that are not from church? Is that what we're saying?
These events are targeted at single Christian people who would consider themselves single Christians. Okay. If somebody's somewhere along the line on that journey and they come along, we're not going to sort of turn around and be like, what are you doing here?
Prove your faith.
For all we know, that could be the environment in which they thrive in. Absolutely. But of course, we are a Christian network, and that's what we're going to be sort of targeting. Okay. So let me get this right. I'm trying to get my head around it. So this time we're on the 27th of August. 27th of August. In the lost city of Nottingham, which hopefully it appears on Google, because it's not really a great title, but the lost city in Nottingham. So we're doing some golfing. Yep. And chilling, and then... And some food. And food, of course, obviously. And then obviously back up.
Just to say, food's not included in the ticket price, so people have to buy their own, and we can, if they're coming, we will ask them if they're gonna order, but it's outside of the ticket price.
Oh, that's fine. Some people are greedy though, so. Oh. No, well, you can't say that. I can say that, but some people do get a bit excited when it comes to socials and eat more than they know they can handle.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying, Tracy. Getting that food element wrong again.
So don't come down there
£12.50
thinking...
is a good deal.
I know it's a good deal.
And I was going to say, if I could get a golfing food and drink for $12.50,
you're coming.
I might look for that last city myself.
You're single for the day.
Yo, take this ring off. I'm joking. I'm not doing that. Okay. So another question for you guys then. So you've been on it for a while. Jamila's been on it for a while. What is the goal of the network or the... It's not the network. It's the business. I can't quite call it business.
It's a network. It's a social network of single Christians.
So what's the next step then? Because I know you guys are operating it for the Midlands.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So where do you guys see this projecting to?
Well, I've got some views. Tracy may have some views. So
Okay,
I suppose I'll start. I mean, we've literally just got started, Jermaine.
I know, but you know what? I've always said, if anything can start in COVID or in the hardest of times and grow so well, then it can project so well in the best of times. So it sounds like it's done. I'm kind of jealous, man, because I'm thinking I want to come play some golf and stuff too, but you know, I got married.
Yeah.
Not joking. But it sounds like it's really, really well. So in my head, I'm thinking, well, where does this go then?
To me, where I see this going is growing across the Midlands. We are calling ourselves GSC Midlands because that's the vision. We see it spreading beyond just Birmingham and Nottingham as we add people to the team to support what we're doing. At the moment, myself and Tracy, we volunteer our time. We literally do this for the love of it.
Fair play, fair play.
So I think for us, it's rewarding for us to see people smiling, seeing people happy, making new friends. And if that could be on a wider scale across denominations, you know, people from, you know, different denominations should feel comfortable coming to our events and meeting with like-minded people. And it's really just to give that enhancement to a single Christian's life. Okay.
Now, Tracy, we've talked about the event, but how do people join the event? That's something we've missed out so far. Because I know some people watching this kind of jealous, like, oh, how do I get to enjoy this?
Yeah, it's a brilliant question. So we're on Instagram. So if anyone wants to find us at gsc.midlands.events on Instagram, they can follow us. Then they can click on the first link that appears on there on our bio. That will take you straight to the Eventbrite link. And then all you have to do is just sign up. So yeah, it's as simple as that, really. We'll obviously be in touch if there's, you know, any updates or changes or anything like that.
Yeah.
There is a wider page on Facebook under Godly Singles Connect. We have the event there, but it is a private group that has to be admitted in. So it's better to go on Instagram if people are on Instagram, or email. You can email us as well.
And what's that email?
gscberm1@gmail.com.
We're still going to put that in the description,
you'll
guys.
find it on the Eventbrite link.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
So can you tell us...
I don't think it's that fully, but...
Yeah,
we're going to have it in the description,
who goes
guys.
spelling out email addresses anyway? No one does that.
I do.
That was a random question.
Yeah, well, Tracy put out there the email.
I think it's GSC Midlands Events at gmail.com. I think it's that, but we'll get it clarified.
We'll get that clarified and put that in the description.
Yeah.
So, but for now, we're certain that the Instagram's the correct one.
Absolutely.
And what was that again? Sorry, just in case someone has to rewind the show to kind of get back to that part again. So what was the Instagram? gsc.midlands.events.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
So
And it will be
at
in
the beginning.
Okay, and it is in the description, guys, of this show, just in case you're thinking to yourself after like pause, rewind, and then come back to that part again.
Yeah, and if they're not on Instagram, they can still go onto the Eventbrite and search for The Lost City or GSC, and I think that should bring it up as well.
So look for more GSC than Lost City, just in case.
Both of them.
Okay, so Lost City will still bring up your event.
It should still bring up the event if you type in The Lost City.
Okay, just make sure though, guys, because I don't need to go to the Lost City and these guys are not there and you join some kind of Hell's Angels group or something and they'll be like, this ain't what they're talking
Hell's
about.
Angels?
You know, some biker group or something on there. Okay. You know what's funny? So you guys said one of the events you did was bowling. And I think, Jamila, you've seen this on my WhatsApp of a young 21-year-old young lady.
Oh, yeah.
Cussing. I don't think Tracy's seen this, so I will send it to you later. But she was saying that it's not a date to be taking someone like her, well, taking anybody bowling. If you want, you're not 16, kind of grow up. If you want to like have a date, then spend the correct money. Is that wrong?
I think that was a very narrow-minded thought process. I think she's speaking really, or she should be speaking from her own desire.
It sounded
because people go on bowling dates all the time. People go cinema. I think she was saying she don't want to go cinema. Say that you don't want to go cinema.
Yeah.
Don't say that it's the type of event that, you know, teeny boppers go to.
Yeah.
You know, I would go bowling. And I would go to the cinema as a grown woman.
See, now this is why I thought I'd ask you both as singles ladies, because if a guy was to say, let's go bowling, would it be something where you'd be like, brother, sit down and, you know, go drink water, because that's cheap?
I would only ask him if he's all right with losing. Because, you know, some guys can't cope. They can't cope.
Yeah, that's right for the jugular. Like, okay, I'm coming to Tracy just in case.
Fighting talk.
Yeah, someone writing in the comments there, what do you mean? Like, what's your thoughts on that one, Tracy? Is bowling a cheap date?
I agree with Jamila in the sense that she's talking about her preference, her idea of what a date is.
Yeah.
But I don't think I don't think she can define, a date is eating at a very expensive restaurant. I don't think that is the correct definition of what a date is. But I think for what a date needs to be, it's an introduction, you know, to somebody, and how you get introduced, in what environment, and how that rolls out. You know, I think as long as it's helpful for both of you, and it's a relaxed environment, and you can get to know each other a little bit, no pressure, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So I think we're talking, it has to be, the guy has to spend this amount of money on me or whatever. I think it's just showing motive there, which is just not really genuine, I think, in some respect. I think it's like, dates can be so creative these days. There's so much on offer in terms of events. So, why does the night have to stop at a dinner date? You could do all sorts on the first day. So
paint and sip. I'm kind of screwed about that. I'm going to try some paint and sip. I am. It sounds fun. In fact, I'm doing a paint and sip at my house because the walls need painting, and I will provide all the water you require, guys.
Wow, water, fantastic.
We're in a difficult time right now.
We're in difficult
times.
You can see. Well, what I will say is that Tracy and I, we have all kinds of events up our sleeves. When we got together, we brainstormed about 40 odd events.
Okay.
So we are willing to take the time and put on events that people will enjoy.
Yeah.
We want people to interact with our Instagram, to tell us what they would like to do. You mentioned paint and sip. We could do go-karting. We can do, we're going to do the roller skating. We're going to organize that. That seems to be a thing that people are into at the moment. So, we'll organize a simple meal if it's needed. So,
have you ever looked at stuff and thought we couldn't do that because it's just not what we do, like horse riding or?
I'm not sure we're going to get many people going canoeing or something like that.
See, this is what I'd say. I didn't want to stereotype, so I thought, as black ladies, are you like, we're not going to do any of these because I can see Trace with some long hair there, and you sound like I'm thinking, I don't know if that's going to.
I think it would be nice to do, we're not going to do a jacuzzi party or anything like that. I think water-based things. I think we did talk about cinemas, cinema events, and whether we would want people just coming up, sitting together in silence for nearly 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that's it. We didn't feel that would be most helpful for our singles. So because we want to build on rapport and social skills and having fun together, I think we're just trying to find stuff that they probably have done many, many years ago, and they thought, I'd like to do that again, or something that the guys would say, actually, I would go to that. So it's a balance for both the women and the men.
Okay.
As best as possible.
Now, I'm going to ask a deep question now. I like to throw some deep ones in there. It's not a personal one. I want you to ask, represent the ladies out there and stuff. But how do single ladies keep themselves humble then? Because in a generation now that is extremely sexualized and money-wise, in terms of the younger generation of women now, if he doesn't look like he's got money in the account, not interested, hence the 21-year-old, they don't want to go bowling. And then guys who look at ladies and kind of judge them based off their Instagram stuff now. Because back in the day when I was dating, it was, I can have your number. Now it's people like, can have your Instagram and Snapchat. And I was thinking, is that a thing? Like, That I didn't know that was a communication tool. I just thought it was a social media thing. But how do women nowadays then keep themselves, or can they keep themselves humble, where they're not kind of getting to that rat race of, I've got to get with somebody because all my friends have got children and all my friends have got this. You know, how do ladies and guys as well from your network just say, you know what, I'm waiting for God to bring the right person? I'm going for you, Jamelia.
Okay. So it sounds like there's two questions in one then.
There is.
So how do they keep themselves humble?
Yeah. I don't know if humble is the right word, but we'll go with it.
Do you mean to set their expectations so they're not unrealistic, you mean? Or they're not,
not that.
From a place of pride where it's all about materialism?
You mean content?
Content sounds nice, yeah.
Content and not...
When you're not being pulled worldly into these kind of, I've got to do it because I'm getting old or everyone else is doing it kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
You can't say so. Do you get it, Trace?
Maturity plays a big part in that, the answer to the question, because I think as you kind of become more comfortable with yourself, you don't need to prove anything on social media. You're just doing you, and I think that you start to become more like you flow in that with a bit of confidence in that, and it all depends on the person really and what their needs are. So if a person is just really kind of in a bad place, they might need something different. But I think what we try and do is empower our singles through having these fun events, so they don't feel like, okay, I'm at a bus stop waiting for the next chapter, but you're actually, okay, you're having fun at the bus stop. If the next chapter is you don't want to be single anymore, let's have some fun at the bus stop. Let's put some music on. Let's put some, have some great time there. So it's just not, as taxing for singles.
Okay, I like that. What about yourself, Jamila?
I'm still blank on the question. I think Tracy did a really good job.
I think Tracy did a really good job, yeah. I think it was an excellent one. Okay. And also, the question that came to mind is accountability. So it sounds like there's a massive amount of accountability being part of this group.
Tracy?
So when you talk about accountability, what kind of
for instance, if there's a single guy who is part of, just joined, and because obviously there's a Christian organization, stop saying organization, Christian group, there's a bit of motivation, but a bit of support. So I know like a lot of guys who I've spoken to are single, a lot of their friends are secular, so it's let's go to the club, let's go and do stupidness to kind of get ourselves. You almost got to prove yourself in a secular kind of environment, where I know with my guys that go to church, it's very much encouraging and empowering. So it's some of the guys we used to speak to who are single, it's a case of, bruv, learn about yourself, grow, and eventually God will bring that right woman. But if you go out looking for her and you get the wrong one and you're in drama, then it's harder to get out of. So actually, just humble yourself, you know what I mean? Like, work on you, get into work, or push your work. If you've got a project you want to work on, get into that project. So I'm talking from that perspective of accountability. Whereas in the secular setting, I know a lot of guys have been like, yo, she's looking at you, get in there, get them numbers. You know what I mean? Does that make sense now? I'm going to
a little bit. I mean, one thing we don't do is that we don't police any connections that are being made on the nights that we do our events.
Okay.
There is, there is a pastor that is involved in our network. So
that's good.
With his mentoring program, he's called Pastor Shay, and then Nadia's obviously the organizer. So I guess there's believers who you can make friends amongst your peers, and ask candid questions. We have a WhatsApp group, so people do post some questions in there about things. So, but because we are aiming for, a kind of mid-20s singles, and a lot of them, they do say that they're part of a church body already. They have a pastor over them, so they have that spiritual accountability. We kind of expect that they kind of draw on their own networks, or, the wider support that's available, that, if they want to invest in that. But I guess there is that element of discernment. So I think people will need to kind of yeah, if they're in a season of wanting to date, they have to grow in discernment anyway, because, you know, we're not going to be there on every element of their journey with that connection. So they have to navigate through decisions, prayerfully consider who they're giving their number to, who they're connecting with, and make the right decisions, because that's kind of part of that maturity and growth. We can't, you know, be responsible for anything that, you know, may happen, because we're all adults and we expect a certain mindset when you're kind of considering dating and marriage and that kind of thing. We're kind of thinking that you're at that place where you kind of know what you want and what you don't want, so you make the right decisions along the way.
I'm so glad you mentioned as well the age thing, because as you said that, then I was like, wow, I didn't actually think about that. But is there an age limit in terms of starting?
Yeah, we are looking at 25 and upwards. 25 and upwards. So we're dealing with grown people,
mature people,
mature people who should, you know, they're accountable for their own lives. They if as Tracy said, if they're thinking about finding a partner, they should be mature enough within themselves to be taking, you know, the decisions in a very considered way.
So that 21-year-old that doesn't want to go bowling, you've got 4 more years before you can join this group. So you might need to check out a few McDonald's or something. I don't know. Okay, then. So I digress a little bit. So 25 upwards, there's no cut-off age above that, though. Is that right?
Yeah, there isn't.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, because I'm going to keep coming back to this one, just in case if you're listening to this and wondering how you can get involved. I've said it earlier, I'm going to say it again. The description is in the link. As this is a podcast and on YouTube as well, we are talking about August the 27th, 2002. So if you're watching this in 2003 and you're trying to contact for this event, it's too late.
Yeah, it will be too late.
And it sounds a bit silly to say that, but you know what? Sometimes there's been people out there who have checked for something. Actually, personal story, I meant to have gone to a meeting a while ago, a couple months back, and someone was vexed with me about something we were supposed to be doing. And when they checked the date, it was a future date. They've put it to 2024.
All right.
And if you ever heard the conversation of how they were almost cussing me, and I was like, it's not in my calendar. I'm really sorry about this. We were flicking through, and we just couldn't understand why. And then they came back to me and said, sorry, I've put it as a future date. It's 2024. And if it wasn't for the power of God, all I'm saying is I wanted to cuss them. So that's why I need to put that in there, guys, because it's important.
Yes.
So 27th of August. This month, we're in August now. It's in the Lost City, Nottingham. And the how to get involved is in the description. If this is going forever, guys, I'm going to put that in there because, you know, this is important. Does it still, this is a cheeky question, does it still continue until you two go and get married?
I'm glad that you see us getting married.
I do see you. I said to you, you two young, attractive young ladies. So I'm like, what? Of course, man. So when you two have gone, obviously, are you going to train people up to continue the baton and to continue for this to grow? Is that part of the mentoring as well?
That's one of the things I wanted to add to the future vision stuff. So I would love to see people kind of, you know, rise up through the group and say, you know what, we would love to facilitate and just build a team really of people who would like to take this forward, because I mean, who can say what the future will hold? You know, we thank God for our tomorrows, but you know, it's like we don't know. So I would love for people to join us with new, fresh ideas and would like to, you know, take a leadership position to facilitate or host. So, yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen of Birmingham and Nottingham, if you are single and you want to you should volunteer your time to a worthy cause, then please get in contact with these two ladies and get involved, because I think it's really, really big. I think I've seen a lot of churches put on singles events, and with no disrespect to any churches, it dies so quickly. I was part of one that I supported. It was dry from the get-go. I'm sorry to say that, but it was, because the vision was very much about getting men and women knowledge of preparing themselves to be a husband and wife. And so it lacked flavor in terms of, well, who are you? And to some degree, I mean, I've seen one before where it was very much about finding your spouse as the same culture as yourself. And so it didn't really give people that opportunity to look outside their race. to see that maybe my partner might be someone who isn't black or isn't white. So it really lacked that. So I really like the fact that what you guys have got has got a really good structure. I've not ever heard of a singles ministry doing Bible studies or accountabilities, because it for some people it doesn't match. Their agenda is to get single people married, not get single people understanding God, understanding themselves, and grow, and then kind of ready for that moment. So okay, all right. We're coming towards the end of the show. I got to chuck another one in there. You know, I like my TikToks. Jamila, there's a guy that came on TikTok looking for a wife, a pastor that looked like the black version of Mr. Brown from Back to the Future. What was your thoughts on this? Honesty.
In all honesty, I know some people looked at it and just thought, you know, is this guy serious? Is he for real? But I wasn't hating the game. You know, he put himself out there. He was willing to suffer embarrassment to make his presence known. Everybody knows him now. Yeah. Right? And okay, some of the things he does is a little bit comical, but but you can see that he's just a sincere, normal gentleman looking for love. And if, you know, he's a maturer man, I don't know.
We think he's a maturer man.
Well, he looks like a
Grace doesn't do that. Philip Schofield's probably still quite young, and he's got enough grace.
He's definitely a mature man. But I think that I don't know what social activities he's typically involved in that gets him meeting other people. So he's thinking, do you know what? I'm going to put myself out there. I am not mad at the game.
I don't know if it's about being mad at the game. For me, if I'm totally honest with you both, it was a little bit cringy.
There's a little cringe.
I'm not going to say he looks older, but he looks like he's someone who's got wisdom. And I would have thought, I don't want to say I would have thought wisdom would have said not to do it.
Right.
But I don't know if something would have said to me, if I was him, maybe not the right direction to go down.
What should he do? What should he have done?
If I'm honest with you, go out on online dating. Is that a thing? Because I've noticed.
Well, he is doing online dating, isn't he? He's putting himself online, and it's gone viral, essentially.
And isn't there a danger there as well?
Probably more effective than online dating.
Thank you.
You can't swipe left on him. But then, isn't there a danger then that with that famous, that obviously with the fame that he's going to get from doing this, then it might work out well for him in a successful way of being famous, and that attracts the wrong person, because now it means, oh, I can be with him because we're going to be famous.
He has options then, doesn't he?
I don't know, but as desperate as he looks, he might take the wrong.
I mean, he's a mature man. He's made the decision to go online. Yeah. He's taken that risk, so he has to be prepared for the consequences, essentially. I mean, you know, anyone that takes the risk of doing something, they have to be prepared for all types of scenarios to happen.
Man.
So that's the ownership he has to take on himself, really.
I got sent that 8 times.
It could turn out quite well. I mean, there might be someone who's like, wow, if I never saw that video and never would have seen a connection here, and she gets in touch and everyone
That's what
knows.
I think.
I don't know, but you were saying, Tracy, that he does other stuff as well, like singing and things like that.
Yeah, so I have seen some like follow-on videos where he's like now putting background music on, he's changing up his outfits, and it just gets funnier and funnier. So,
you see,
I mean, the comedy value out of it for me, I just thought, wow, he's going, you know, he's probably had so much feedback and so many people commented, and he's just thought, you know what, I'm going to keep this going a little.
Yeah.
He's gone viral, right?
He's enjoying it. You know, you should see some of his videos.
Yeah.
On TikTok. He's on viral on TikTok, so he could make some money from this, right?
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
His face is everywhere. We are talking about him in the UK.
That's true.
Birmingham.
Please don't do that.
Birmingham.
Oh,
no. So I just feel like I know there's a comedic value. I know that there might be some people mocking him.
Yeah.
But I think that, as Tracy said, there could be that one lady who admires his confidence. You can't.
I can't knock it.
You can't knock it. You do not know. He's taking a chance. He's doing something different, and it could pay off. Guess what? If he didn't do anything, then the result would be nothing.
You know why the other shocking value for me came? Was he's a pastor, And so I think sometimes as a pastor or a vicar or a clergy anyway, there's an expectation that there's certain things you're not allowed to do.
Right.
And so I kind of put in my little
He's a
bubble
pastor,
world.
you know that?
Yeah, he was wearing a dark colour, wasn't he? Well, then anyone can wear a dark colour, but I think he is a clergyman.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying, that there's a way to conduct yourself and we don't want to, draw attention to Christianity for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So I accept that argument.
Okay, all right.
But if he was Joe Blogg, I am not mad at him.
I feel like we're going to have some words about that guy. Now, guys, as we said, as we come towards the end of the show, it is the 27th of August. These two lovely ladies will be back in September because we want to follow up about the Lost City, unless you got lost and didn't make it back, and then the Lord be with you. But we want to hear some feedback about the show, and actually maybe you should film it so we can have it part of our show the next time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can try and get some clips.
I think we should get some clips, yeah. And, particularly those that try to golf and do really bad, so we can obviously spot them up.
Oh,
so you can get TikTok and go viral. I think that'd be a good thing to do.
I don't think people are that bad at golf because you know how many hits it take to get the ball in the hole? It's miniature golf. It's not like a big
but
field.
Still, we're kind of, prideful. We want to win. We want to do well. And I can't... Okay, between you both, name a black golfer.
Tiger Woods.
He's mixed. We can't completely own him. So he's shared. Name a black female golfer.
What's this got to do with the price of sugar?
I don't know. I just wanted to see if I couldn't think of a black golfer. I thought hopefully you guys knew one. So, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the show. As I said, we have two lovely guests with us. Tracy and Jamila, thank you so much for being on the show. We are going to see you again in September with the update of the Lost City. You guys do. Name the business again, sorry.
The
I
network.
keep saying network, yeah, the network.
Godly Singles Connect.
Godly Singles Connect. Because you kept abbreviating it. And I was like, okay.
GSC. It's just less of a mouthful for people.
I'm old school, man. I like the whole title.
You want to say the okay?
Yeah, so Godly Singles Connect. Okay. They're on Instagram, guys. Get on there today. Join the group. If you're single, obviously, if you're married, then go along your business. But if you are single, please join, get involved. If you are looking to volunteer, then guys, please give your time to support these two young ladies starting something and helping it to grow. And they are taking over the West Midlands. So get involved quickly before they are no longer on the market. Does that sound bad?
Sounds fantastic.
Okay, cool. Because I didn't want to kind of like degrade you by saying on the market like it's the butcher's or anything like that. So, okay, cool. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, please get involved. And guys, thank you for being on the show. It's been amazing. I've enjoyed it. And we're going in again for next season. Well, in September, part 2. And I'm coming back with some more questions.
Okay.
Hope you know. I'm a TikTok addict, so I'm always got something crazy to look at. And as Jamila knows, I'm always controversial on my WhatsApp.
Yes.
I'm now frightened when I put something on, knowing that she's going to challenge me on it.
I'm watching you.
Yeah, I might add you, Tracy, and you might get your views in as well. So, guys, stay blessed. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, and thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, you like, and you comment, and make sure that you're sharing the videos and watching so much more. We have loads of content for you. I hope you enjoy. See you soon.